If you have the healthcare version of NovaLens, you have the ability to bring in data from multiple EMR systems. Because the system has a FHIR compliant interface, it's easy for you to attach to EMR systems within the hospital or clinic setting or doctor's office. Again, what we have here are different databases that are available for us to develop applications on. Your connections will be determined by your IT or systems administrator that control your EMR systems. This is important because they coordinate with Nova systems with regard to permissions and downloads, those sorts of things, to assure that HIPAA standards are met. Now, if I look at this, I have two different EMR systems. Let's go to the first one. And here I could see what my base place is, the standard place for the EMR records. And then the resources are all the tables that are generated within your EMR system. This is will be dependent upon the hospital or clinic that has done the install. Here you can see the different categories that are present in the test data set. Now you may have some that are similar, you may have additional items, but as long as your system follows the FHIR standards, our system can read it. Now when I look at a table and call it up, I may be faced with a number of filters. I can go in and filter on these different terms. If there's a value concept or any part of this thing, I can go in and put in exclusion or inclusion criteria that allow me to be more specific in how I bring up the information. Now, in cases where I just want to get an overall understanding of what's happening with my data in order to do something like looking for trends with patients who have certain diseases or certain lab tests, I'll probably just bring in the data in toto. I can preview the data here, and what that's going to do is read the information in the database and then provide me with the first 10 or so instances. And you can see many columns may be empty. It all depends upon how you populate. Many of these columns may be empty. It may depends on how your system or what you do in your hospital to populate these terms. But once I have that, I can create a table. Now what this does is it duplicates the data that's in the EMR system for you to do manipulations and for you to do exploring and to develop new views. Again, because of the HIPAA requirements, this is all controlled on who can access what with your IT organization through the use of an interface that we have for assuring that security is met. Now, you can see that the data is importing, and once it's in a table, all of the different functions associated with NovaLens for analytics can be used. A couple important concepts here are that you can develop foreign key relationships with these tables, and this becomes important if you're if you have a hospital or a place that has several EMR systems and is looking for the same patient who may appear in different systems. Because now I can do a couple things. If you use the same patient number in those systems, I can link by a foreign key relationship. And again, those are described in the other parts of Lens. Or I can set up a many-to-many relationship between tables and link between two different tables within the system. So if I download a file from one EMR system and then download another from another EMR system, if I have a common column between those two data sets, I can link them. So you could see where it becomes very easy now to do things like disambiguation of patient information. Now, once this is done, again, as I said before, we can generate new fields, we can use generate indexes, all of that functionality within Lens. So you really have a lot of options open to you now on how you want to manipulate your data and how you want to explore your information. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening.